Hello, thank you for tuning in today. And in this video, I want to talk about the Air Force, National Guard, and the Reserve. And this is including the all the other branches of the military: Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Space Force. But Space Force don't have a reserve or guard component. But if it does, this is going to be true for them too. So I want to talk about education benefits and the difference between reserve and guard, right? Now, this is not going to include active duty. Maybe I'll sprinkle it in a little bit, but I think a lot of people who are picking between the Air Force Reserve, Air Force Guard, or Army Guard, Army Reserve, and they're trying to compare the two, and they're looking for education benefits and the difference between the two to kind of see if one is better than the other. So right off the bat, if you want full payment or full help with your college, usually the guard is better right off the bat, right? So this is a little bit tricky question, right? So like for myself, I am a Air Force National Guard member at West Virginia Guard. So the problem is, yes, it does cover more when it comes to state school inside of the West Virginia only. So you cannot go to a Virginia school. You can't go to a Maryland school, even though it's close by, right? You have to only go to West Virginian school. And if your school in West Virginia does not offer the program that you want, or by the same schedule that you want, you're out of luck. You have to go to West Virginia, right? Or the state that you're going to. And every single state has its own different tuition assistance and aid for their service members. So the example in New Jersey is that you would get your tuition fee 100% waived if you go to a state school, right? So any state school, you can go for free, and you need to check your school to see if it participates. So if you go to New Jersey National Guard, you go to Rutgers for free, you go to Rowan for free, you go to NJIT for free. And that's just to name a few. But if you want to go to Princeton, it doesn't pay for it at all, right? In West Virginia, it does pay for private school as well, but the way it works is it doesn't cover 100% of tuition. It covers up to $4,500 a semester, which is not that much. So if you go to like a school such as AMU, which is based out of West Virginia, you can go there and it's probably pretty free, right? Because AMU doesn't cost too much. But if you go to WVU, is West Virginia University, or West Virginia State University, which is the school in West Virginia, it won't cover 100% if you go full time, right? That's just not enough for that, but it does help out a bit. So that's kind of up to you. But if, let's say, on the flip side, you go to New Jersey and you're 108, you're like let's say a National Guard in New Jersey, it covers 100% of your tuition. Now, it might not cover some certain fees or certain things, but it waives most of your tuition, like 100% of your tuition for free. So you can kind of look at the different state. Like New Jersey, you don't have to do as much paperwork. You just kind of go tell the campus that, like, look, I am a National Guard member. Show proof that you're a National Guard member, and your tuition is waived, right? You don't need to show the state that you have this degree of completion plan. But if you use the West Virginia, Guard tuition assistant, you can only go to West Virginian school, just like every other guard. Like you go to the school in the state that you are assigned to, and on top of that, you have to show them the degree completion plan and all these different kind of things that your courses you're taking to finish the course. And you have to do it every single semester, and every single semester that you're done, you have to send your GPA, your transcript, to your school, your National Guard base or education base, so that they can kind of show that you have the correct GPA. If you don't have, you have to reimburse the school, the state, right? So that's kind of different between the different state. I don't know what it is like for the rest of the other state. I only know for New Jersey and West Virginia, and every state is different, right? For reserve, it's national, so everything is the same. And the way national work is that the reserve tuition assistant is not the same as the active duty tuition assistant. So right off the bat, you cannot cash in every single thing that you come in with. So sorry if the screen is shaking. I'm trying to talk with my hand, and it does hit my other hand where I'm holding the phone, so it shake a little bit. So a little FYI. But digressing, the national the reserve, and this doesn't matter. Every single branch of the military is the same. Is the Air Force Reserve tuition assistant is divided differently, right? So coming in right off the bat, you're not going to be entitled to 100% of tuition assisted. It's based on your time in service and how many points you have. So how long have you served continuously? So for someone who served for 4 years, like myself, like active duty for 4 years, myself, I've been in the Air Force for 8 years now. I could claim the same amount of reserve tuition assistance as an active duty member, right? So I get $4,500 a semester, capping out at $9,000, I think, per year. So I mean, like that math kind of works out, right? So and you'd be like, well, per semester, how does that work? It will always, well, let's say you take in the spring, right, and fall, and then also summer is another semester. So you can kind of divide that kind of like evenly. So it does cap per year, right? And it reset every single year in October. So that's kind of how it works in the Air Force Reserve. But when you first come in, you don't have a certain percentage, right? So you haven't served for as long yet, so it doesn't cover as much, right? So like, and if you go on one deployment, you might be entitled to like 25% of it, so it comes down to 4,500 divided by 25, right? A point 1/4, or time 1/4, right? Divided by 4. That's what you get, and then each deployment you get up to like I think like the full would be 2 years of continuous. So like it doesn't have to be continuous, but like it can break up a part of your orders of 6 months each. So if you add up to 2 years, you have 100% completion of it. You get like a full benefit of your thing. Plus, and next you have to serve for 4 years. So reserve is kind of like that. But the good thing about the reserve is that you get 100%. Well, you can go to any school you want in the country, right? Any school in the country that you want, any U.S. based school you can go to. So if like let's say I'm in West Virginia, and I want to go to a school in Virginia because I live in Virginia. My old school that I graduated from is Liberty University, is in Virginia. My base is in West Virginia, so it does not pay for Virginian school. So that's the problem, right? So I want to go back to get my master's at Liberty University in Virginia. It does not pay for that, right? But if I was in the reserve, it does pay for that, right? So that's kind of the things that you kind of have in mind. In the reserve, it's the tuition assistant is universal for no matter what state you are across the world, right? So I know like there's some reserve member that's in Korea or in Japan, because there are some reservists there as well. You cannot you get the tuition assistance anywhere in the country, like any U.S. school, even U.S. school in other countries. So like UMGC has a branch campus in Korea, right? Like most people don't know that, but they have a branch campus in Korea, and you can take it there because it is a U.S. based school, right? It's accredited by the U.S. board, right? So you can do that. Now, when you are, no matter if you're guard or reserve, if you go on active duty orders for 6 months or for more than 30 days, you are entitled to active duty tuition assistance, right? So that you get the active duty tuition assistance no matter what. So guard, reserve, active duty, you all get the same if you go on active duty orders. But then if you're a guard, you lose your guard tuition assistance, right? Unless you're in New Jersey, you're just gonna get your fee waived, so that you don't need a lot of steps when it comes to that. You just go to their registrar office in your college and you just tell them that. it depends on the state. But in West Virginia, if you go on active duty, you're now no longer entitled to West Virginia tuition assistant. But you don't really need West Virginia tuition assistance anyway if you're active duty, because active duty tuition assistant is a little bit better, to be honest, right? You can go anywhere you want, but it kind of falls down the same kind of line. So if you're a new member, you're trying to join a certain branches, and you're trying to pick out your colleges, you want to do your reserve versus guard or whatever, then hopefully this video helped you. Please send to anyone that would help. And I think it's really different for people who are already active duty for 4 years and they're coming out of active duty, whether they want to go and join the reserve or guard. It's different from that than someone who's right out of high school who wants to join the reserve or guard, right? The benefits are way different for those two people, right? So to make it short, if you are 18-year-old, you're coming out, you're going to go to a guard base that's in your state and you don't want to go anywhere else, then go join the guard, right? If you're an active duty member, right, and you're coming out and you're not going into like a state, and you already did research, if your state is not New Jersey, so New Jersey is 100% waive free, no matter what, up to a doctorate degree, no matter what classes, how many degrees you take, right? That's New Jersey National Guard benefits, tuition waive 100%, right? That I would go with that, right? But if you're coming into like a state like mine, like West Virginia, and you want to go to another school that's not in Virginia, West Virginia, want to go to Oregon State, or UCLA or whatever, and you want to do classes online, or you live in that state, you just commute to work, you join the reserve, because that kind of helps you with whatever school you want more. But depends on the state. You need to make sure that your state and how your education work in that. You can call the guard base in each different states, the education office in each different state, to kind of figure out how their guard benefit works for different states. It differs for everyone, right? So some state will pay for private school, most state will not pay for private school, it will only pay for public school. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. I don't think I have anything else. Active duty is kind of different. Active duty, like I said, it is kind of very similar to the West Virginia Guard, and reserve, once you get the full benefits, is that it's $4,500 a month, a semester, and cap out of like $9,000 a year, something like that. And active duty, if you're going to use your tuition assistance, you're probably not going to be taking full-time classes anyway. It's really rare that you're going to max it out, even if you go to a really elite school, because you're only going to take 1 or 2 classes per semester. If you're doing an 8-week classes, you're probably only taking 1 classes per semester, man. Like it's just too much work for you to take, to do like a full-time job plus college at the same time. So you're gonna do one classes at a time. If it's 8-week, if it's if it's like a 12, what is it called? If it's 16-week course semester, 16-week semester, then you might take 2 because it's a little bit longer, right? So that's just kind of what you need to keep in mind when you pick your classes and your school and your branches and whatnot. And if you have any questions, please leave it down below. I'm trying not to make this video too long. That's why I always encourage anyone to watch my video at 1.5 times the speed. So, usually I start talking and it's end up becoming 20 minutes and I'm only trying to make it 10 minutes. But there's just so much information when it comes to, all these branches and all these components and the differences in education. Yeah, if you have any question, leave it down below. I know it's a little bit confusing. I do set up appointments who talk to me in person. I do have extensive knowledge when it comes to this. So just leave your question below, and I will get back to you. We can set up an appointment. I always set up an appointment. We can do a session. I don't charge a lot. I charge really low for my consultation. Like I do $20 an hour per consultation. And if you're military already, you get a 50% military discount, so it's become $10 an hour, and that's like literally less than dinner, man. You can go out to McDonald's, you'll spend more than talking to me. It's just because my time is valuable, and so when I do need to spend a whole time of myself, I can actually, like it's justified to myself and my family why I'm spending so much time advising you. And I do a lot of research before we have a consultation as well. All right, guys, please share this video to anyone who might need help, and subscribe so that other people can, see this video easily. I don't make money off of these video at all. I'm only doing it to help you guys, and that's why my consultation fee is so low, was because I just have more passion of helping you guys than to make money. All right, but I do need to eat a little bit, right? So I do need to justify why I'm wasting that hour, because I'm studying for law school, I'm studying for other things, I have work and stuff like that. So like if I'm taking that time away from that and my family, I need to justify it somehow, right? All right, like, share, subscribe. All right, peace out, guys.